Afghanistan under-19 team received a warm welcome today in Kabul as they returned home with two shiny trophies. One from the under-19 Asia qualifiers and the other from the Youth ODI series against Nepal. Nepal and Afghanistan both made it to the final. Both teams played exceptionally well throughout the series. They won all their games up until the final. The final was abandoned due to rain, which was unfortunate for Nepal as they didn't make it through due to net run rate. Afghanistan was crowned champion because of a healthy net run rate. Afghanistan overall performed better compared to Nepal, and that's why they made it to the under-19 World Cup, which is next year in Zimbabwe. One can certainly feel for Nepal as well. They were a very good team. They even challenged Afghanistan on certain occasions. Before the Asia qualifiers, Afghanistan and Nepal played three games in preparation for this, where Afghanistan won one game, the first one with dominance, I can say, but the second one was kind of 50-50 until the very end. Nepal wasn't a team to be taken lightly. They won the third game actually against Afghanistan by a huge margin, even though it was a DL method. It went to Duckworth Lewis method, but they did put Afghanistan under a lot of pressure, and even if it wasn't raining, I think they would have ended up winning that. Nepal would have ended up winning that. So one can certainly feel for them. Very unfortunate, but let's hope we get to see more of them in the future. As long as Afghanistan's team is concerned, they as a team played well. There were quite a few cameos here and there, but if I have to mention one player, it would be Khalid Ahmadzai, who was also awarded the Player of the Series award. Again, I think in his first game he scored 132 against the UAE, and then after that against Oman and Hong Kong, I think he was 30 and 40 respectively. So he was probably the only consistent performer for the team. Other than that, there weren't any other extraordinary performances, but as a team, they played well, hence they were crowned the champions. Before this series, I spoke to their coach, Rais Ahmadzai, and he showed a lot of faith in the team. They had quite a few preparation camps in Afghanistan before this, and as I mentioned, even before the Asia qualifiers, they played Nepal, where this competition in this series, the tournament took place. So I think that, certainly came handy because the team had an opportunity to get used to the conditions, even play their probably toughest opponent Nepal a few times before facing them in the Asia qualifiers. In terms of preparation, they I think ticked all the boxes. The coach was very confident in the team's ability, and the team backed it up with some solid performances. Well, this qualification certainly doesn't come as a surprise. Afghanistan have been a regular participant of the Under-19 World Cup, I think since 2010, almost more than 1.5 decade. But the team's recent performance in the previous edition wasn't up to the mark. So that's why they didn't qualify directly. They had to go through the qualifying round. Fortunately, won it, and will be playing in the next World Cup. I think they are truly deserving. They can challenge a lot of teams on the big stage. They have in the past. I think they qualified in the 2022 edition. I think it was to the semis. So they can certainly put a lot of pressure on some of the top teams. And let's hope we see them replicate these performances next year in the World Cup. As long as the team selection is concerned for the next World Cup, I think it'll most likely be this particular team. There's only 1 year or less than a year to the World Cup, so it won't be wise if Afghanistan go for a completely different team. So it'll most likely be this team, maybe with a change or two, but overall it'll be this particular team representing Afghanistan next year.